Good evening, guys. We're back again. Told you it'd be Tuesdays, not Mondays yet. I'm here, Steven, or Crash, however, whatever, with Laura and Bud.
Hello.
Sup?
Tonight we're going to be talking about something that just kind of struck a chord this last week with me. Is politics in video games, and not the political side so much as are we able to separate
The two.
the personal politics of, say, an author and the game, and then subjective politics that are perceived from reviewers and the players. You know, things around that nature. I always thought it's an interesting discussion. Trying to keep it lively. Feels like it's going to get a little too ugly, anything like that. I think we might change topics. I don't see it being that way, considering it's not a discussion about our personal politics so much more as it are we able to separate. You know, when we look at reviewers, when we look at games that we see, we just ask that, you know, if you want to participate in the chat, that you just be respectful. We will in turn, of course, be respectful with you, and we ask that you be respectful with others. We do have a moderator in-house, if not three, and they will be removing people as needed. So keep that in mind. We still want to be lightheaded, still want to have fun, but I do like to have discussions about semi-serious topics to me sometimes.
I think a little bit more serious, yeah.
But
Is it something more serious than our normal?
yeah, and we also have some jokes and some gags that Bud have brought along.
Yeah.
Crap, they're still on the TV. I know I had them up earlier, but that was
Not for your eyes.
before we had decided what direction we were going to go with it.
I'm not sure the video's up right now anyway.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
it is.
So
it's
is it-
up. It's
so-
up.
Is it?
The button I missed with the mouse.
Well, that's okay.
Is it there now?
I'm waiting.
There's a slight delay, by the way.
All I see is Harambe.
There we go. It faded in.
Faded in.
I've apparently
I
lost
see.
my mouse.
It's already playing.
No, I was seeing if you could refresh it.
Oh, no, you can't.
Okay, sorry.
I was like, what are you doing? Don't touch.
Okay.
I was trying to leave a big
So-
ass.
Ah!
Kick this off, because it's all started with an article that I read last week, ironically enough, about video game pornography. And it not necessarily being inclusive enough. And the author's arguments were predicated on the idea that somebody creating something for their own design and releasing it to the wild is inherently bigoted and against other ideals because they don't conform to certain sexual preferences. And I take the notion that let the artist create what they want, and you vote with your view, your wallet, whatever way you consume the medium,
Mhm.
and kind of like that. But I want to see if anyone else at the table and anybody in the chat shares a different view. I mean, I'm open to ideas. I personally think that when you review something like a subjective at that, especially that's kind of nil. But the same idea extends to video games in that if I were to write something, because I was reading some of my old creative writing works, and you could see where some of my old influences of my life
Mhm.
influenced my writing at the time. Though I will say one of them was actually pretty good. I can tell where my thoughts have changed and my ideas have changed, and and a lot of people think we shouldn't add this or that to video games. And while I'm of the notion, yeah, you shouldn't shoehorn ideas or something of the like in. You can be open to the notion of change and explore it in a natural manner, as opposed to saying just because an artist didn't include something that it's not inclusive. It should be looked at as from the subjective of the artist. But I can also understand that somebody from the outside looking in may see it a different way. So
Well-
what are your thoughts on this?
Well, my direct thought on that is, if somebody wanted a certain view, or if they wanted something added in to an image or someone's art piece or piece
It's
of
out
work,
the way now.
then they should be willing to fund that. Because you can't demand someone to create something like that without them being compensated for it. You know what I'm saying?
I had the mouse right in front of me the whole time. Yes, I do know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've been looking all over for
So
this.
I think people have the right to suggest,
Oh yes,
but not demand.
I am-
Because the artist is going to do what they're going to do.
And they should, because that's how the art, I think, comes out true.
Yes.
But I entirely agree. I say that, in the instance of the art of the author of this article saying, "Hey, I don't think you're inclusive enough," I'm entirely okay with that critique. That's an honest critique. And maybe the artist might say, "You know what? Maybe I want to do something a little bit more." But to imply that the people making these things are inherently against you by virtue of what they've made is not fair.
Yeah.
Without anything substantial, especially, God, something as subjective as porn.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I want to headbang. Bam, right against the table,
Yeah.
But I understand, there are people get frustrated and things like that. But that's where the idea. Can we separate our politics from our games and from our subjective review of anything? This could actually, I think about it in terms of video games, because video games are what I love to do for my downtime.
Yeah.
I mean, watching Laura play through the Kingdom Hearts series again, I'm reminded it's something I love to do. I say watching her play because I beat it. I've been sitting on her ass going, "You got to get it done so we can talk," which we will in time. Want to give it a little bit before we jump into it, but
Yeah.
I can't get the video to play.
what are you doing?
How do you get this to work? If I keep talking.
Um,
There it
Well,
goes.
you've not participated.
So I'm trying to
but,
get this to
um,
work.
when
With
it
what?
when it comes to when it comes to
Silence your phone.
I'm getting to it. When it comes to politics in games or books or anything like that, I think it's best if all that is up front for the consumer to know what they're getting into.
I agree.
So that way, I don't know.
Click.
It's hard for me to say why. Yeah, I know that's the way it should be though.
I mean, we should all review things, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna write serious reviews on pornography. I apologize, but no, I won't do it.
I guess what I'm trying to get at, so it's not, there isn't like a
Why
hidden
not?
agenda behind the work that you're into. So if you're reading a book, there's not a hidden agenda that's trying to sway you a certain way without you knowing about it. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, and that actually further expounds into the idea that I'm thinking is like, what if it isn't really an agenda? This is sincerely, it's their beliefs informing their creativity.
Yeah.
Then I don't know that is necessarily an agenda if it's a subconscious informative behavior. That is inherently what you believe, as opposed to consciously acting on it to insert these things.
Yeah.
I would argue one would be organic, one would be unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
I can believe the way I believe about things, and it will influence the way that I would write a creative short story, but...
Whether you mean it to or not.
Yes.
It does.
But if I'm actively injecting my beliefs into that short story, I think that would actually come across rather plain, like to see that he's done this, there's an intent behind what he's saying here.
Well, people can be very creative with the way they insert their beliefs into things.
Oh, yeah. And
so sometimes it's very hidden.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
Yeah.
I could see that. And I don't know. It's just a topic that touches my heart because I'm a very try to be live and let live guy. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
Be you, be happy. Just don't impact me.
Yeah.
I won't impact you. We can leave each other alone.
Yeah, just don't force other people into your thing.
Like even this conversation will have an influence of our underlying beliefs and systems.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm trying to avoid the overly political aspect, but as a mind exercise of what is this, and can we say but that said, I don't think we can outright separate the two. I don't think it's possible for me to write a story from a belief point I don't understand, and at the very least write a story from a belief point I don't stick to and have it come across as anything better than a second grade writer. Mm-hmm. I really think, and maybe that's even an exploratory form of learning to expand your ideas and things like that. So I just wonder. And do you have any thoughts, oh silent one?
Oh, I was reading stuff and I'm listening. I don't know. It I guess, like I said earlier, it's hard to, no matter what everything that everybody does is always affected by like their beliefs and like, their views on things. It's a fact of life. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, somebody somewhere is always going to probably be offended at it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like nowadays.
So it's impossible to separate it really is.
Yeah.
Without just saying nothing.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible.
But and that's where, and I think that
because even just like Legend of Zelda, like a lot of people have a lot of vindictiveness against that because it's the like the
damsel in distress.
It's the typical trope. But here's the thing: is I don't think that they meant it to be that way. It's just how the series has grown. Here's the thing: is people will look for any kind of like they'll look for something political and things that aren't even meant to be political.
Yeah. I will say that I think that it was intended to be that way, but the intent was not offense.
That's what I meant.
And I think that's another big point that I'm trying to strive for is the lack of this of what we want. Is that proof of intent on the person creating the art? Like if I find something I don't like, I don't take it as intent on the artist to come at me. I do my best to try not to do that. I mean, I'm human. I will do it from time to time, but I'm trying more as I grow every day to change my thoughts and try to think, stop being me.
Yeah.
Change my thoughts to think, maybe that person's just being them, describing what they like. And maybe it just hit a nerve on me, but I don't have to get upset about it now that I see it.
Yeah. Well, you have the right not to pay attention to it, which
that too,
everybody does. Like, oh, I don't like the direction the certain game is going, or the view that this book is putting out. Well, then don't read it, don't pay attention to it, don't buy it, and then you won't have to worry about it.
Correct.
But it's that freedom of speech. Like everyone has the right to express how they want.
Yeah.
But you also have the choice to not,
of course,
to not give it the attention.
Yeah.
And there's actually a good question raised here. Says, Shadow Luna, I am curious when it comes to artistic expression and generating a form of entertainment, is there a balance that needs to happen with reacting or reaching the most I don't have my glasses on, sorry. Reaching the most demographics and maintaining the integrity of the creation? From a publisher's standpoint, I can see where you would argue yes. This is to make money. This is like my big argument. Like people that go against Nintendo Online for having, I will say it's lackluster in features, but I will not say they owe me any features because I don't build the product. But if it's got some of what I want, I will pay for it. And I will smile while I do it. Now, if I really didn't like it, I would vote with my money and not do it. That's the strength of it. But this is that same thing. I could see from a monetary side, it's about business. Some of Nintendo's decisions are about business. And when it comes to like an artistic expression, I can see where the artist would be like, I need to be me. I can see from both sides. And that's a really interesting thought on that, because it's about, do we do the business or do we create the art? Because the art for art's sake risks alienating the customer. The customer, for customer's sake, risks ruining the artistic integrity. Yes, so there has to be a balance when it comes to business. But personal art,
yes, like
I'm trying to think, I guess this will eventually. The personal art, as I was narrowly scoping it, I guess I should say. I was defining it when I outset in my head. I would say personal art, there should be no balance. If you're publishing it yourself and it's your money on the line and that's what you want and that's your prerogative, I don't think it should compromise the artistic integrity.
Yeah.
Because that's the intent of your art. But if you're creating it from a large business perspective, I could see an argument being made there. But the problem is, to me, publishers are becoming so powerful. Things like EA, they're literally creating dumpster fires in their own studios, and then when it flops, they pitch it out as if it was the studio's fault.
Or they blame the customers because they don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, with the developer from Metro Exodus, and I take this with a grain of salt. This is just what I've read. is one of their developers came out and said, well, if you don't buy it on PC because we switched from Steam to the Epic Store, we just won't put it on PC next time.
Wow.
Okay, if that's your prerogative, but I wouldn't agree with that stance either. I guess there could be a balance, but
Yeah, like mentioned that Double Fine went with the self-publishing business model.
Yeah.
You should move your computer over.
I'm not gonna move. The last time I did that, I typed my password. I had to edit it out of the video.
Keep your phone in front
That
of
took
you.
so long to do.
I don't know, like there's a lot of fandoms and things that I've kind of fallen out of just because of like some of the politics that like have gotten involved in. I'm just like, it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Like I was in it for, what the creators
No, we
were.
don't count CDI.
Yes, we do count CDI.
No.
Yeah.
You'll have to inform me.
You have to.
Then you have to count Mario Hotel.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I do.
I
I do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's Philips CDI. It was a CD expansion for the Super Nintendo because it was when Nintendo botched itself out. And they didn't really botch it. The Sony wanted too much control over the CD expansion. Nintendo said the nay no my dammy and canceled the plan the day after Sony announced it.
Here's the thing is that
It went to Philips.
Zan was asking if Zelda and Peach had their own games, and technically yes, they both have had their own games where they did both save Mario and
Peach
Link
was a
respectively.
Well, what about the
Nope,
sports?
Peach had her own game on
It was
the
a
DS.
DS. That's what I
Yep.
thought.
What
You
about
have
Super
it,
Peach.
don't you?
I do not.
What about
Oh,
the
I thought
sports
you did.
games?
It looks cute though. I
They're
like it.
independent.
Yes,
They're
actually,
independent characters. in
that
the
was
sports
actually
game.
brought up. Sports games were brought up. Overwatch was a good example to me because I can't remember who I was talking to about it, but Overwatch has no underlying in-game story. It does have its character lore that sits outside of the game.
like bios and stuff.
Yes, but there is nothing needed to appeal to anybody in Overwatch. You are shooting each other. To me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need to know. I could be shooting at a stickman. I'm cool. If the gameplay is fun. Just stickman with different abilities. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the thing is if that's your game, your main game for a long time,
yeah.
you would appreciate there being more lore in there since you're gonna be spending so much time in their world that it would make you feel more you would feel like you're being drawn in a little bit more if there was lore.
But I think you're thinking about RPGs. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Well, even with Overwatch, like if you're gonna spend a whole bunch of time shooting other people, you'd be like, oh, what? Like, I like this character. I play.
But there's actually no lore behind why the battle's happening, is there? You'd be our expert here, resident expert.
You can make it up in your head.
The actual battles, no, but there is lore behind the characters.
Yeah, you can make it up.
Here's the thing, though: it's like some people get offended at the story and the characters. Like they don't like people that don't even play Overwatch. Like,
Really?
Yeah. They
Really?
don't even, yeah. There's people in the fandom.
Something you completely ignore.
Yeah, something they don't like. They don't like. They like the characters, but they don't
Yeah.
like. They don't want. They don't play the game.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, just like to drop an entire game over something so trivial as.
Oh yeah, people have dropped that game because of decisions that they've made. They're like, they've actually sent death threats to the creator.
Oh, of
for,
Overwatch?
Yeah, for decisions that he's made. Like, if you do this, we're like they've threatened him.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
Like personally, like threatened him.
And that's the extreme fandom that really bothers me. That's the extreme fandom. I feel they're the ones you don't cater to. In fact, me personally would probably not cater to a fandom like that out of spite. Oh, you threaten me. Now I'm going to do the opposite of what you want because it's my game.
Everybody's dead. New characters pop up.
Well, I mean, I might rewrite the character they like.
Oh yeah,
or kill that character. Just being vindictive on my part, but when that's how me thinking from an artist's point of view would want to react. You're telling me to change my characters or write my characters this way. You're interfering with my artistic integrity. Mm-hmm. And while there's business in having a model like that, I think that that's inappropriate to demand things of story writers.
It's okay.
Any story writer
to make suggestions and say, hey, like I don't like
mean.
this, but like some people have gotten like very, very, very ugly about those kind of things on.
I'm trying to avoid
openly.
certain topics, but like a good discussion would be same sex versus opposite sex relationships. It's just a black and white example.
Okay.
someone may not necessarily be into same sex. Someone may.
Mm-hmm.
I am indifferent to who has what story. Is the story's good? I'm going to follow along and be like, hey, this pretty good.
Like as long as the motivation is solid.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can. I mean, everybody. I say everybody's human. Well, no shit. But
Except for androids.
we live in a society, okay?
Shh, they're gonna come get us. Androids are people too. They deserve rights.
We live in a society.
Yeah, we go. But anyway,
I don't know. I feel like it just gets taken to an extreme where everybody's just trying. Half the time, I don't care about characters more than I do within their immediate sphere of people, and even then, the depth to which I care about the people around the main character generally tends to wane with me.
Yeah.
Like, I like all the characters in Kingdom Hearts, but Sora is absolutely my favorite character because he's like a light in the darkness. He's endless hope.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to think that I strive to be like, is endlessly hopeful, if not sometimes painfully so. You know, almost to a fault. That's a better way to say it.
Yeah.
You haven't really commented. Like, how do you think in the sense of like having someone telling you how to change your art?
I don't like it. That's the part of artistic freedom, and that's kind of like freedom of speech.
Now, how do you feel in the sense of somebody paying you to commissioning you? That's a better way to phrase it. To do art that you wouldn't normally care for.
It depends. It's kind of like that personal opinion kind of thing. What's the right word? You shouldn't pressure somebody into doing it. Like you can ask, but if they don't feel comfortable doing it, it's kind of like, you know. I was reading the chat. Yeah. That's why I was kind of going quiet. Because you can exactly what you're doing. You're going quiet because you're reading the whole chat.
Oh, go ahead. I'm still.
Yeah, that's I'm saying. You're saying I wasn't saying anything. It's because I was reading the chat.
I guess it depends on what your medium is, but for the most part, you can always find somebody else to.
Oh yeah, that's more willing to do it. But like, there's people that like don't feel safe, like, or don't feel comfortable like doing not safe for work commissions.
Oh, I remember Brutal Legend.
But like, if you go to someone like, hey, I want you to draw this picture of these two characters, like if someone, or like, you know, it's just some guy's thing hanging out. It's like, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Like, you shouldn't get upset about it or anything.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand that, but okay, so let's go to an absolute extreme here. Say somebody offered you a price point that outweighed your integrity for that. Do you think that that's a violation of your integrity at that point? I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't say so.
No, because they're offering, but as long as they're not hounding you about it after you clearly made it, like, say
that's not the way I'm going to do things.
I don't want to do this.
At a certain point, it becomes harassment.
Yeah, at a certain point, it becomes harassment. But if you're just asking, like, hey, well, if I paid you more, would you be more willing to do it? Then I see nothing wrong with that.
You know, I'm thinking that I absolutely had no idea where this conversation would end.
Why?
I don't know. Because it's really hard to say that I would like to see a massive inclusivity, but at the same time, I don't want it to feel forced. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the same time, when people are making honest strides to listen to requests for inclusivity, that they don't get pissed when somebody does it wrong if they make an honest attempt. Now, it'll be up to us, obviously, to subjectively judge whether we think the attempt was honest. But I think you can tell when an attempt has been honest.
Well,
you know?
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think it'd be funnier to, like, just to troll the people. Like, if they hound you to do something you really don't want to do, you just mess with them and just draw it real crudely. You know? Just to get them off your back, you know. Like, I mean, here you go, you know, and just throw it out there so they'll leave you alone.
Or they'll hound you more.
There was a game I was thinking of that they made changes to that. It was just to appease other people. I don't remember what it was. I was thinking about it the other day as I was planning for this topic.
What, a game that was made to appease people?
Yeah, can you think of one recently? Well, actually, a good argument was on censored gaming. If anybody follows this and on YouTube, that's a pretty decent one. It's the new one, the game. Oh God, Beach Volleyball, Dead or Alive. Yeah, Yeah, it's
Oh,
still kicking in Japan.
Okay.
It's not for everybody, obviously, but they will.
No.
It has been translated and is in English, but it will not be released outside of Japan.
Why?
Because from the director stating, essentially he was saying, and I'm paraphrasing heavily, he's very much more polite than what I'm saying. He was essentially saying he doesn't want to bother putting it here because people will overreact to something that is culturally acceptable in Japan at this time.
Okay.
And in lieu of offending everybody that might be, he has opted to translate the game and keep it Japan published, since consoles that it will be on are region free.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still get it if you want it and still play it in English. And I think that, to me, that is a company standing up for its artistic integrity. Now, I'm not arguing on the morals of the integrity or of their product, but I can admire that stance.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with me is when you have other people saying that stance is wrong because I disagree with the content you create. That's what I mean. That's kind of what I'm driving at when I say that artistic integrity is important.
Yeah.
Even if I disagree with what you're doing, I still think you have a right to make the product you want. Now, anyone can take that to spin to say to any extreme. There are obviously lines you don't cross, lines I just don't care to discuss.
Yeah.
But within a certain limit, I think artistic freedom should lay with the author, and that it should not be compromised because somebody else might be upset by your vision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because if they don't like it, then they can just ignore it.
And that's my favorite phrase. Vote with your wallet.
Yeah, if you don't like it, then don't buy it.
Don't support it.
Don't support it. Don't talk about it. Don't just.
Yeah. So
Like-
I guess we have two thoughts. Maybe three thoughts here going on. We have your private artists making private content available for free. You have private artists self-funding and selling it, and then you've got publisher relationship artists.
I guess the real trouble would be if you have a Patreon or a crowdfunding page or whatever, and you do art like that, and then people make requests. How would you handle that?
So usually those have like rules though that people follow still.
Okay, so
and they'll say what they're comfortable doing and what they're not. So it's
Okay.
the same. It's kind of the same thing though. Is you generally before you would subscribe to somebody or give them money, you'd watch them for a while first.
Yeah.
And they usually most of those artists will say, hey, I'm not gonna do every request that I get. I'm gonna pick and choose. It's kind of
and then
that's kind of part of it.
and then
It's
you
the
can
same
set
thing.
rules up front.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's usually what a lot of people will do. It's just like Twitch streaming. Usually people set rules before they stream, saying like what people can do, what they can't
Yeah,
do.
that's what we've tried
Yeah.
to do, to keep
Okay.
it civil to know that even if you disagree with us, we still want you watching. We still want to hear your opinion. We just want to be able to talk respectfully.
Well, yeah, it's like it's the thing like with the art though is like you cut me off. I forgot where I was going with
Oh,
it.
you were talking about
I just don't remember what I was gonna say.
start from the beginning. You're good.
No, as I don't remember. I
Well,
lost my whole train of thought
like
there.
setting rules and
Oh no, like people don't have to like if you don't like the way somebody operates, then you don't support them. I
Okay.
mean, that's just
All
like
right.
I'm not gonna go on to somebody's like art site and be like, hey, I hate your art.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pay you money and then get mad about it because you're not drawing what I want you to draw. How
Yeah.
dare you?
What? See, I've never been really involved in any of that, so I didn't know because you have, right?
I don't know who does it.
Not like that.
Responding to Shadow Luna's
Oh.
last comment.
What did he say?
He said he'll buy any system for
I
Zelda.
will always buy a new system for Zelda. I don't care what
I think that's why
system it
Nintendo
is.
hangs around, is they have that
I
stopping
don't care how much it costs.
power. Yeah.
I'm buying that system and I'm playing a Legend of Zelda anyway. But no, I have thought about getting into like doing art commissions and streaming. I've actually got some. Actually, after I had this at work, some people at work were like, "Hey, like, would you maybe be interested in like doing commissions?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, it depends on what it is, but
Okay.
I've got no issues with that."
Yeah.
So,
All right.
but it comes to that line where people have the free will to like, or the freedom to ask of certain things, but
You can ask. You
but-
have the
but the
ability
person
to ask.
also has the freedom to decline that offer.
So, yeah, consenting contract.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like,
Yeah, you have.
both parties have to be respectful of each other's decisions. I think that's where it really crosses lines, is that people are so me. I want this. This is how it should be, and not
I mean,
how does it make this other person feel.
To the asshole inside me would say, go build it yourself.
Well, see,
and if you don't know how, find a way to fund it and get someone else to do it
that's
for
the thing.
you.
I'm very empathetic. I'm very empathetic about that
I
kind of
try
stuff.
to be.
It's just like
I'm working on it. I really try.
I understand. Like, I try to always feel to see like how it makes somebody else feel.
Mhm. Yeah.
Being in that same kind of situation, it's like, well, I wouldn't want somebody to put me through that.
Wait,
Why would
wait. You mean you actually think about other people's feelings in
do.
situations? Holy shit.
just not yours?
Yeah, that's true. I can vouch.
We're good enough friends that I can joke with you like that, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Sometimes I wonder.
Don't blow my cover. Shh. The operation's a bust. Quick, hit the panic button. You like eject out of your seat
Yeah, I was gonna-
through the window.
Up through these cedar boards above your head.
But it comes to kind of things like, how would I feel if somebody asked me to do something I wasn't comfortable doing? Like, how would I feel if somebody was getting mad because I felt like they were, overstepping my personal boundaries? Like, no, like, this is what you should be doing. Why are you not doing it this way? Like, that's not your decision.
You can take your money elsewhere.
Yeah, it's not your decision. It's just like anything else in life. It's ultimately up to whoever
You plug that in on the wall behind
it is. You can not agree with them. That's fine. You're totally allowed to not agree with them, but you should still be respectful
of that decision.
of their decision, and then move on.
Yeah.
What's the point of being mad about things all the time? It makes everybody miserable.
And life's too short.
Life's too short to be angry all the time. I know everyone that comes into work, they're like, "How are you always so happy?" I'm like, well, if I'm not, like, everyone's just gonna be miserable all day.
Everything just sucks otherwise.
Yeah, I was like, why would I make myself miserable?
I guess that, that's something that I work on too, is trying not to let things that are around me influence my thoughts. And I guess you could say that I'm guilty of letting these last few articles and things that I've read get to me on that. They struck that nerve. And it really, truly is a sense of an entitlement to things that you haven't created, that you expect someone else to create. Now, again, let me finish it. Hold yours. Let me finish this thought while I'm holding on to it.
Yeah.
Now, there's still a line between critiquing and requesting an item of a series.
Yeah.
If it's a big video game series like The Witcher, things like that, and you want inclusivity, there's nothing wrong with asking that of the publisher.
Mhm.
Now, that's putting the ball in the publisher's court. If the publisher chooses not to follow along and the characters you love and you care for don't go on that path because writers don't want to do it, that is their prerogative, and you should respect that.
You cannot
Now,
like it.
if you don't like it, you can voice that opinion and you can critique it as you will.
Just don't buy it.
But yeah, and don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Don't play it. Don't
Make,
get on the forum. Well, I mean, you can
call and
you
let
can
them know,
voice-
hey, I don't like
You
this.
can voice your opinions, but you shouldn't like be
I'm
sending.
not for doxing, threatening.
Yeah, you
or-
shouldn't be sending death threats to the creator because of a decision that he really had. Like, that's the other thing is like
The characters
Je-
don't belong
Jeff-
to you.
Jeff Kaplan, I think, is the guy who does the lore for Overwatch. Like, you have to think though, like, he's not the only one making decisions on this. It's also I'm sure he's got somebody above him telling him, hey, this is what we need, this is what you have to do. Here's your creative freedom with this. That's the only part you get, but they're all taking it out on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets the brunt of the force.
Well, I find it very disappointing when companies don't stand up for their creators and they just toss them into the fire. Like, they just get another one, which they can a lot of the time. But, it's like they don't have any morals,
For what?
Yeah.
Well, for certain content or...
So, I think what he's saying is when a publisher has realized the blame is essentially laying with the artist at this point, whether it actually does or not, and they cast the artist under the bridge
Yes.
and get somebody else willing to do the job.
Yeah.
You might think of it in this situation as somebody crossing a picket line, though. I'm a bit torn on when it
Scab.
is or is not appropriate to cross a picket line.
Scabs are not good.
I disagree. I think that it is very dependent on the situation.
Okay, all right.
There are some things that are worth picketing, some things I don't think. And that's going to be different from everybody. I'm not saying that every line should be crossed. I'm not saying that every line shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying a lot of things are very situational.
That's life.
Yeah.
Life is very situational. Life is very situational. But I think the issue a lot of people come to is not being able to see both sides of said situation.
Yeah.
Like, there's always two sides of a story.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't like... At least I feel like a lot of people sometimes forget that. They don't realize that, hey, there's this other person that I'm berating has feelings too. You know, they've have their own thoughts and whatnot on the matter.
Well,
it's like, but you're so caught up with what you're thinking that you don't bother to think, hey.
I think people just get too close to things that they're into, and they forget that there's an outside world around it.
Yeah,
Or
sometimes
that
sometimes
somebody
you
else
should just
is
let things
controlling
go.
the world in which they've fallen in love with.
Well, here's the thing, though, is sometimes you have to let things go. Sometimes you have to think, is this really worth all of this effort?
Like all the Star Wars books that were dropped. That was my thought. I was getting to
He's
that.
so salty.
That is one thing that grinds my gears. That
It does,
Grinds my
but
gears.
I understand.
It's their product now.
I understand
Yeah.
why they did it, so they can create their own thing. But there's such a rich history that was laid out before them that they could have like lightly touched on what was written already, but while still creating their own thing. But there were characters that were just dropped.
Yeah,
So-
I mean,
so
like I
that's
said,
a-
you're free to be angry about that, but at the same time,
I'm not
I
as
get-
angry because I've come to terms with
It's
it.
it's at the end of the day, it's their choice to
Yeah.
decide what they do with it. It's like somebody having a new car and saying, "I don't like this car," and then
I mean,
blowing it up. You can be as mad as you want because you really like
Or-
that car, and it's like, well, I could have used that car.
Or I could
Well-
watch the Solo movie and laugh how horrible it was compared to the trilogy books that came out. It's like, oh, they could have done so much better, but whatever.
That's a live and learn kind of thing too.
Yeah.
Didn't he already have a set of trilogies written, just out of curiosity?
Yeah.
Who?
He already had he already
yeah.
said a set of third set.
Yeah, no, like the movie that came out isn't as good as the books that were written.
I have some bizarre memory of toys that were written for the trilogy after the original. Of toys that were made for that.
Like Admiral Thrawn.
I
Oh,
don't-
there was a comic book series too.
I don't know. I just remember there being some Star Wars toys that were based on characters I had never seen before.
I think they were from the comic books. And yes, I think you're thinking of those.
But they were supposed to be from stories that took place in the next trilogy.
Mhm.
I think.
Probably.
I don't know why I would be thinking, because I was never that big of a Star Wars fan. I enjoy it, but
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why I would have a dream about a toy that for a trilogy that I didn't really invest myself in.
I'm pretty sure you're thinking right because I remember, I can't remember who the character's name is, but like he had like a speeder bike, and he was kind of a rogue like Solo was. But yeah, I remember those toys too.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
What?
I just thought that was interesting because I always wondered where the hell that fit in the Star Wars I knew.
Yeah.
But because this was before the second trilogy.
Mhm.
It was around the time of the re-release of the original,
Yeah.
if not just a little bit before.
Yeah. And there's always stories in the back. Or
We
sorry.
totally just lost track of our conversation.
Well, no.
What conversation?
Well, mine kind of related with how the whole conversation affected me about like my feelings towards companies doing their own thing.
Yeah, and definitely. I mean, I'm talking about the toy deviation.
Oh, the toy. Oh, wow.
But no, yeah, and that is true. I mean, at the same point, I have it stuck in my head that I follow the same thing I ascribe to, and that is that it's now their product. I no longer I don't own it, so I don't have a say. I can not like it, but I'm not gonna hate them for running their own business in the ground.
Yeah,
it's upsetting, but
That's
I
what
can't do anything about
If
it.
that's what they want to do.
yeah.
That's why I really think in this argument. That's why I think indie games are so successful.
Mhm.
I do. Even indie games about still not widespread topics in gaming are very popular, and I think it's because the artist's intent is true. it's not influenced by somebody saying we got to hit this demographic.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that is something that is admirable. I would never have really cared for something like Undertale had the story not been entertaining.
Yeah.
And I only watched Laura play it, and the Sans memes helped bring it on board. But the music's fun.
The music's
But
so
I mean,
fun.
Well,
but
they
the
kind of
characters are so likable that
Yeah.
it's an interesting concept of a game.
Well, they kind of took the like the stay true parts of RPGs and flipped it on its head. You know, where like the thing that would traditionally happen, you know, were forced a different way. You know, like you could play the entire game without killing anything,
Yeah.
if you really wanted to, which you don't really see that in RPGs. You know.
I don't know that applies to that same idea, Danny.
That kind of
Plus, it's not a walking. I mean, you know, Fieros and Lamborghinis aren't fire traps.
fire trap. Fire
That's a
trap.
jet. You don't pour more gas on the fire. I'm just trying to poke Danny. But no, yeah. So I don't know. I think it sucks to see something you change. Like there are a lot of things I would change about Kingdom Hearts 3, but
At the end of the day, it's not our choice.
it's not my choice, and I still like it. And I still say, if you want, it's the story is satisfying. It's just a
I-
bit of a slog to get through.
I don't know. There are different things that I wish would have happened. I wish they would have done different directions, like with certain things, or that they would have done.
We're
Like
trying to be as vague as possible.
even
right
mechanically different. Yeah, but like at the same time, like I can be upset. I can not like something, but you know,
now. Still appreciate it.
Yeah, still appreciate it. Still say, well, hey, you know, this is what they're wanting to do, and attempt to like it at least, because I do like the series as.
Actually, I think one did,
Huh.
Danny. I'll have to get my
Oh.
source on that, and we'll go over that later.
But you know, it comes down to that point of is it worth just like abandoning the whole series?
It may be one
over-
of those fire stories. Sorry, go ahead. It's not worth. Yeah, it is not worth abandoning the story. They could have
getting
done a
upset.
lot more in Kingdom Hearts
It's-
3, and I would not abandon the story.
Here's the thing, like I said, it's that way with everything, and there's gonna be some people who really who like everything about it, who just think it's the best.
It's the best.
Anyway, that think that you know it's the best thing, like the best Kingdom Hearts. That like they love how all the mechanics worked, how every world was, how the whole story is. Like that's fine. And there's gonna be some people that just wished it had gone different
different way.
directions, in different aspects. Like it's one of those things.
There are gonna be
But
some people that wish we keep every scene from the Wall Market in Final Fantasy VII.
That's true.
Go ahead. I was expounding upon your
I
point.
mean, that was about it though. It's just you have to come to a point to where, like I said,
you can accept the things you don't.
yeah,
you can't change.
it comes to the point where it's about acceptance at that point. It's about I hate to say it's about
I
being
hate
an
to
adult.
say it's that Catholic prayer. What is it? Father, grant me the ability to change the things I can, accept the things I can't, and
the ability to know the difference, or the
wisdom to know the difference.
I'm a bad Catholic.
I mean, I don't describe to that as a Catholic thing. I think that's just a good way to think on life.
Yeah, it is.
Because if you spend your whole time struggling against things you can't change,
Oh, you're
and
gonna be
there are
miserable.
some things worth struggling for.
Oh yeah, but if you do
But
everything, you're gonna be miserable.
I think at some point everyone realizes and knows internally it's been lost.
Well, that's
or
why
you can't go further.
That's why you pray for the ability to know the difference. What's
Some
worth?
people might. I don't. I hope. I try to gather from around me. You know.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shut that down. What I'm saying is,
No,
I don't want to push religion on people in that sense, but I want to say that I
more-
believe the ideal, the philosophy behind wanting to understand the difference between the two is an admirable idea.
I mean, if you would have said that was a Buddhist saying, you know.
Oh, Buddhist has a lot of great stuff in it.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like it doesn't have to be.
Well, I gotta say, these are like their collections of books. They have great things in them, but it's kind of how I feel in many instances.
Yeah.
You know, I have my religious belief system, but I don't. I'd rather lead by example than tell somebody to go and do this.
Huh? Yeah.
Because I know I'm gonna falter from time to
I
time.
don't want to be Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, we can't all be Shia LaBeouf.
Do it.
I want to see that new movie he's got coming out though.
He's got a new movie coming out.
Oh yeah.
What's
it about?
What is
Is it about his flag?
It's childhood. No, it's childhood.
Oh.
No, apparently he had an abusive father growing up, and he plays his father in this movie.
Of
And it
course.
talks about his time on Disney.
I mean,
He wrote it while in rehab, but apparently it's getting some pretty decent reviews.
Mhm.
Apparently it's pretty hard to watch because he's not. He's barebacking it. Apparently it's pretty raw.
he's not holding anything back.
I mean, I've always heard that some of the stuff that he does artistically is pretty good. Right?
I mean, Holes is an amazing movie. So I'll
Is it really?
Compared to the book, it's pretty good.
Oh, I didn't even read either. I didn't read one or watch the other.
It was one of my favorite books, and
Like you can't read a
it's-
movie.
What about the deaf? What about all the deaf who have to rely on subtitles? Yes, you can. You can read a movie.
Danny, that's just like saying no one wants a
I'm gonna
Mechasalt
shove this pencil up your nose.
Nobody wants a Mechasalt sequel.
You're supposed to say I'm going to hell.
You know
So-
what?
You're going to hell, but
Oh,
We
that
need a
reminds me
Mechasalt
about my
Battle Royale,
mother.
Danny. We should start a petition.
we have an inside joke going on over here. Don't mind
Not
us.
sure. But okay, so
It's funny.
I think we've kind of hit our nail on the head where we stand. That we think that artists have the integrity and it should be reserved.
Yeah.
And that you can critique that integrity. Now, the one thing we didn't hit on was reviewing something without the political. Can you review something without? Can you review something while separating your own politics from it?
I think there's two ways to go about that. I think either one, you remove yourself from it and then you review it for what it is, or from the get-go you state what your politics are and then you review it. So,
Okay, so you provide a frame of reference.
yeah, exactly. So I think there's two ways to go about it.
I think a frame of reference would be effective
Yeah.
because then you would know whether or not to spend your time on that review.
yes.
Yeah, but I don't think that will. I don't think that'll be a functioning system in our society that values clicks. Because if you tell somebody something and they walk away from your article, there goes ad revenue. That
Yeah.
almighty ad revenue.
Yeah. But I think people would respect that more.
I would personally, yes.
Yeah.
But
The
I'm just so sick of parties on either side when reviewing anything, throwing everything up against the wall like it was some kind of spawn of whatever you detest.
Mm.
I hate it. I'd rather be somebody tell me objectively, you know what? I didn't care for the story, but it flowed well artistically in the sense that the pacing was good, the story was solid. I didn't like it,
Mm-hmm.
but I could see where someone might. I'd rather have a review like that that's just straight up, this isn't for me, but you may like it.
It may be for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that it's very hard to. And I think.
Oh yeah, because everybody
As you
wants.
said, that's a really good take. I didn't actually think about separating out. Like that's an awesome take. I didn't think about it in that sense. I'm so used to reading these articles where that's not even taken. They don't premise their ideas, their viewpoints when they go into these games.
Yeah.
And the only time you ever do is you say, "I've been a lifelong fan of this game and no fan of these games," and that's only when and they generally use that for emotional impact. They say, "I've always been a fan of Zelda. It's the greatest series in the world, but this game sucks."
I feel personally attacked.
Well, no, it's not you.
I'm
I've
joking,
literally
I know,
read
I'm
articles like
I'm
that.
joking,
Like
I'm
somebody
joking.
talking about Breath of the Wild. Like, I played every Zelda game ever. They're the greatest thing in the world, but Breath of the Wild sucked. And I'm like, first of all, none of that was necessary for the review. All it is to get an emotional appeal from somebody. What is it? Is that ethos? There's logos, ethos, and pathos. Is pathos? No, that would be pathos, wouldn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't remember. I know
It's Robert Toolman's method of writing an argument.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to get better at my arguments. But
Confrontations. So.
well,
But it's a part of life.
oh, there's a weakness to that argument system. I think. The system says ignore the weaknesses in your
You're
argument
arguing
and
with me
attack
right-
your
you're con-
opponent's
you're
weaknesses.
confronting
Don't
with me
ever.
right now.
I'd rather attack strengths and win.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The point of confrontation is like it's well, not all of it, but like part of it's to learn.
It's hard not to bring your emotions in, or at least for me, sometimes, depending on the subject.
Of course.
Because like you get passionate about what you're talking about, and then you stop being rational, and you just get louder and
That's why I tried. And that's why I tried to stop, or that's why I tried to keep this as reference free as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, The Dead or Alive was just a good observation of cultural difference and things that are acceptable in one place and not another.
Mm-hmm.
And if that changes, so be it. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
It just saddens me that in a land where everybody's supposed to be free to do what they want, that they fear such censorship from another country that that they won't even publish it here.
Yeah.
I can't imagine having to work at a business where you fear that kind of backlash. You know, I kind of had that kind of that trepidation, is that the right word? That feeling when I wanted to do this kind of thing. Oh, the Nintendo shut itself off.
Yeah.
I was enjoying all the flashing colors. But I don't know. That's kind of where I say. I think that it is very hard to separate your politics, but I think your strategy of disclosing your disposition at the beginning is something I will take into consideration and think about as I move forward to write things. Because as you know, I'd like to expand to book reviews and music and movie reviews.
Yeah.
Going forward. Again, and I said this last week, we want to separate out. So topics more like this would be more of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a little bit less argument. I'd like to keep the more serious to the podcast that are pre-recorded, and then lighthearted here with our streams.
Okay.
We will still stream the podcast as we record it, but we likely will not be responding to chat in that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys like that format. We can talk more about that later, but that's where I'm envisioning. I just think that this topic was something weighing on my mind lately, and I just really wanted to talk about it and see if maybe somebody else had another opinion. You guys have offered me a few things that'll give me something to think about.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, yeah, it's always good hearing other opinions from other people, like their thoughts and opinions on the matter.
You know, I won't go into details. It's been a very, very, very rough year for me for personal reasons, and I've seen some growth in many areas, and I'm trying to change thoughts and ideas within me and challenge them.
Did you change the update? Did you update the title of the stream?
Yeah, it says you might have to refresh to see it.
Oh, okay.
But I did update it. We're not talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 or Biohazard 2 tonight, though. It's still a fun game. I recommend both.
Which one? I was gonna say which one.
I referred to them as a singularity.
Oh,
because in some multiverse they are.
Can't wait to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. Like
BioHeart 2.
It's killing me. The game.
Biohazard meets Kingdom Hearts.
I have so many feelings about Kingdom
Mm-hmm.
Hearts. It's not even
actually kind of shitty. And it technically is what Kingdom Hearts is. I mean, the Heartless are like they could say Heartless are a metaphor for zombies, and hearts are a metaphor for brains. And I guess bringing a heart back to a body is like curing zombie-ism.
Is it?
And instead of visiting
I think like we're stretching here.
Disney movies, you could visit horror movies.
Visit
visit Jason's World and
Day of the Dead.
That's a great title. I'm gonna make.
Dawn of the Dead.
I'm gonna draw that.
What?
Resident Hearts. It's.
Oh,
I'm gonna draw Sora with a gun.
Patent pending. That's my idea.
Yeah, patent pending.
Resident Hearts.
That'd actually be a funny indie game. I bet somebody would play that just for the law.
Every time you shoot a zombie, the little hearts go woo.
Got another one.
I like it.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. It's my next art project.
So, I think we can move on to a lighter topic now. I think we're gonna just talk in circles at this point.
Okay.
Bud has brought us some joy.
That's new.
And a little thing for you. You know what? I'm gonna turn the Nintendo back on.
Turn it back.
Oh, did it get unplugged?
Wait, what?
Is that a sad day or did it die? Oh, no, there it goes.
It's completely dead.
Oh, crap.
What?
I don't know.
Did it-
Oh, it takes a minute to turn on. Look at that. So, I'm going to pull it up on the screen here so you guys can see it too. I'm going to see it come live real quick. Lost control. Table talk. There we go. All right, explain this one.
You
To
won't,
me.
Dan. You won't understand me blabbering about Kingdom Hearts.
You guys can see it in the bottom
It's
right
gonna be
corner here
just
in
me
just
talking.
a moment.
about nothing. You're gonna be like,
There it goes. Okay.
I need somebody to discuss it with.
Wow, there's gonna be such a delay between me talking about this and looking down there. It's gonna be so meta.
Oh.
Anyway, so first, for your entertainment, we have donkeys
Donkey.
and dragons, and
yes.
dragons and donkeys. Would you do me the honors? No, I'll show her.
And
Here.
boots and cats and boots and cats and boots.
It's
and
right
cats.
here. Here you go. So Bud sent me this lovely one here. It took me a minute to think about it because I hadn't watched Shrek in so long.
I
was
get it.
I don't know.
I get it.
Can we boost it up there?
Main
Yeah, we're getting
screen,
to it.
turn on. Somebody set us up the
Hold up.
bomb.
Alexa. All right. There we go.
Play Skyrim. We should actually do that. I can get us a Fire Stick just to do that. That'd be fun.
So would it be more like an role playing thing then, where you have to imagine what's going on? Like you
I don't know. You just tell them to do things. I've not tried it yet. I just know that it's actually real.
Alexa, barrel roll, and just
Who wish? So Bud says that this is iconic of like old dealerships,
yes, like old
car ads,
yeah,
things
car
like
ads.
that.
Yeah.
So I've not seen this, so we're just gonna listen along and see what's up here. I'm gonna add a little bit of the audio into the.
Fuck you,
Oh, no.
Baltimore! If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend, you're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Cars. Bad deals. Cars that break down. Thieves. If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill, you can kiss my ass. It's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker. You'll fall for this bullshit. Guaranteed. If you find a better deal, shove it up your ugly ass. You heard us right. Shove it up your ugly ass. Bring your tray. Bring your title. Bring your wife. We'll fuck her. That's right. We'll fuck your wife. Because at Big Bill Hell, you're fucked 6 ways from Sunday. Take a hike to Big Bill Hell, home of challenge pissing. That's right, challenge pissing. How does it work? If you can piss 6 feet in the air straight up and not get wet, you get no down payment. Don't wait. Don't delay. Don't fuck with us or we'll rip your nuts off. Only at Big Bill Hell. The only dealer that tells you to fuck off. Hurry up, asshole. This event ends the minute after you write us a check. And it better not bounce or you're a dead motherfucker. Go to hell. Big Bill Hell's Cars. All the most filthiest and exclusive home of the meanest sons of bitches in the state of Maryland. Guaranteed.
What the hell did I just watch?
Yeah, what was that?
So like,
What?
I was looking at Reddit at work, which I shouldn't say, but I was. And I was like,
For
I was
shame.
almost on the floor rolling after I saw that.
It's terrible, bud. It's terrible.
It was so
You're going to hell.
Probably.
That was great. I really did have like a 90s vibe to it,
I
though.
really did.
Will, fuck your wife. Jesus Christ. Wow. So how did you end up on that Reddit with that on it? Or are you just browsing like dank memes or something?
I think it was. There was some. I can't remember the exact one, but yeah, it was in my thread somewhere.
That was, I'm gonna have to watch that again later. That was epic. That was absolutely epic. Apparently we were activating Luna's I can't say its name, his Amazon box.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, what?
Sorry.
Did it play Skyrim? That's the important question. I don't know if you have to install it or not.
That's really funny.
That's a great thing to know, that when you're on stream you can control people's houses.
Yes.
It's like X Set lights to 30%. Romantic mode. It did start playing. Sorry about that.
Wait, what happened?
I'm so sorry.
Wait, what happened?
It was playing Skyrim.
Was it really?
That's what we're told.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
But trying to kill a character.
Jeez. My bad.
That's really funny.
God.
I'm really sorry about that, but that's really funny.
I didn't think I don't have one. I was in for the beta batch for the initial units.
Uh-huh.
I canceled mine.
You didn't like it or never got it?
No, I was gonna get them before they were available for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just canceled it.
Okay.
It was a week out from getting ready to ship, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want something that listens to me all the time. I say a lot of crass things when I'm alone, just because I have a dark sense of humor.
Well,
and I like to talk trash to my cats for some strange reason.
well, the thing is,
It makes me feel bigger.
Because they don't talk back.
do they sell your information?
Yes.
Do that? They do.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you would have to read the user agreement on that.
I'll check it out here in a bit.
That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, you want to talk about reading user agreements? Why do you think my account subscriptions have gone way down? They've tanked because I won't subscribe to anything until I read the privacy policy and the terms of condition.
Oh, he has to read
Something I
everything.
advocate for everybody to do, because some of the things you agree to are absolutely absurd. My favorite one, I don't remember who did it, but it literally, I revoke my rights to anything I put on their website on this planet and on any planet in the known, unknown, and to be discovered universes.
Seems legit.
It was literally in the wording, and I was like, that's intense.
So you have to go to another dimension to do anything.
I don't know. I wonder if dimensions are implied.
Oh,
But I mean, yeah, I advocate that you do read those things. It's fairly important, some of the things you agree to. What was it?
It's like that South Park episode
God.
with the human centipede.
Centipod. Or
The
Yes,
centipod.
the centipod.
Centipad.
Centipad, yeah,
Centipad.
It's
Where
like,
Kyle was the face of it.
Yeah. You should have read the user agreement.
So, okay, so now that we have someone that's actually played that game, is that version of Skyrim pretty fun?
Oh yeah, I've always wondered about that.
I can play it on my iPhone, but I don't have any Amazon-related object beyond that would have...
I can buy us one.
No.
I'm gonna buy us one.
No. Not unless you unplug it
Okay.
all the time.
Okay.
I guess it would just be a game peripheral at that point then.
Yeah, you just plug it when you want to play Skyrim.
Yeah. I can see this meme going around I'm an IT engineer. My house has non-electric deadbolts. And almost nothing is connected to Wi-Fi. The joke being that he knows all the crap that can be pulled.
Oh.
Honestly, it kind of frightens me with how many things can be controlled, smart home wise. Because
I thought the original lights were awesome, that were Wi-Fi networked, that they weren't online. They only controlled through Wi-Fi, your local Wi-Fi, because people can get into your router if they really want to, even wirelessly. But if it was local only, no one's sending signals to it online.
Okay.
And I'd probably put up a secluded mesh of networks that had a network that was connected to internet and a network that was explicitly not for the other items.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying.
Well, I mean, some of the things that they're coming out with, I don't understand the convenience. I mean, I understand the convenience, but I don't really understand it. Like the whole light thing. I think it's more convenient walking over and turning it on yourself than yelling at a device.
Dude, there's nothing more convenient when you got your boo and you're like, Jaina, go to romance mode. and the lights dim down real low and it goes dark red.
Steven, part of the fun is maintaining that boner while you're turning the lights off. You have to go real quick.
Well, I'm done with this conversation.
No. That's all right. Sorry. No, but
I'm done. Not joking. You're fine.
But
I should just throw my chair back.
No, but some of the conveniences that they're trying to throw at it, with the whole smart systems and all that. It's is that really more convenient?
Yes.
all of it?
Yes. Everything.
I think some of it is
All of
better
it.
doing it
Oh
yourself.
yeah, I that's one thing that concerns me about connected cars.
What do you mean?
You can hack cars now.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's chat.
Especially if you're like a Tesla where it's self.
I don't know about that. No, that's an onboard self-driving, and that's more guiding based on road lines. So technically, you could pull a Roadrunner on a Tesla.
Okay.
Ha! The Tesla. No, Roadster. He's not a Roadrunner. Oh, if it was Roadrunner, that'd be perfect. So technically, you could draw lines that lead off the road and lead a Tesla off road.
That sounds hilarious and terrible at the same time.
Yeah, I was like, we shouldn't promote that.
The thing that I don't like about and he
It's
talks
gotta
about
be special
The thing that I don't like
it's
about
special
it is I've heard
paint.
it said among
Just take random paint. Just do it.
among software security firms,
Mhm.
and not the firms directly, but some developers, that they actually intentionally stay behind some of the viruses. Because
What do you mean?
it's the same in medicine when you get somebody that's greedy. There's no profit in a cure.
Oh. Okay.
You don't
Once
make
the
money
cure
off
is
of,
made, you don't make money.
You don't make money off the people anymore.
Or okay, there's still money to be made. Don't
Not
get me
as
wrong, because
much.
people will get sick. But if they
It's not a
have to continue to
constant.
take something to treat it, that's continued revenue. That's why you see all these businesses, not healthcare, but that's why you see businesses like gaming moving into subscription-based media, because subscription-based is constant revenue. So now that Adobe is technically affordable,
Mhm.
you don't pay $1,000 for it. After you pay so much per month, you've already paid $1,000 in about a year or two.
Yep, it's terrible.
But you don't own it now.
That's why
Yeah.
I absolutely will not do subscription based, like that kind of subscription based thing, because
You,
you're paying for a product. and
You
you're not
can
being,
you can
you're not-
find those programs on the Linux systems. So you don't.
Yeah, but these are the official Adobe.
Yeah, well, the Linux programs will run just as well.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they won't. There aren't competitors.
So
And I'm
they're-
sure competitors will rise because,
Well, they're
you know,
free too.
and that comes to that same argument of digital gaming versus owning physical copies.
Okay.
I have a foot in both. I have a foot on both camps.
Mhm.
I love to have a digital copy for its convenience sake.
Yeah.
Though the Wii just went down, so I have no backups of those.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, I
last-
forgot to transfer my Wii over to my Wii U. I'm a little bit upset with myself. So now I gotta buy a second Wii so I can hack it. Anyway, then I like physical copies because when the stuff goes offline,
Mhm.
I want to have it still
Yeah.
That's
That's-
the point.
without verifications. That's why I bought the Fire Emblem, the special edition for which one?
the Fire Emblem
Fates.
Fates.
Yeah, I bought the special edition. I didn't actually want to pay that much for it. I just wanted that damn cartridge because the cartridge gave you the third campaign 2 weeks early, but it's the only way to get the third campaign that is not a download.
Okay.
And once the 3DS eShop goes down, whenever in the future,
Mhm.
you won't be able to get that download anymore. You won't be able to play the third campaign
Yeah.
unless it's already downloaded on a
Yeah,
DS.
unless you already have it.
Kind of like what's that that PlayStation demo, Silent Hills. Though there are workarounds to force your PlayStation to re-download it, which I'll be working on.
Oh wait. So when the 3DS store goes down,
You lose access to all your downloads if you don't need to have
Yeah,
them
so-
You
downloaded.
don't already have them downloaded.
no. Well, if you have the downloaded the add-ons, the
Yeah.
If they're already downloaded to your DS, you're fine.
Yeah, but what if you want to transfer it from one 3DS to
Nope.
That's fine.
That
yeah,
need-
you
nope.
can transfer it.
No, you can't.
That's what I was wondering.
You have to go through Nintendo. I did it.
That's what.
If it's on an SD card, you can.
Nope. They won't load because they don't have the keys.
That's
Sure.
Yes, the files are locked to a key that's on your DS.
so. That sucks. So if mine crashes or if I drop it, which
You're fucked.
yeah, more likely.
Yeah,
When
you're
I-
pretty fucked.
You're
Okay.
fucked.
Okay, well that's good to know. Be careful with it.
Well,
You
what I'm
should be
saying
careful
I'll
is,
with-
stop tossing it
You
around.
should be. You should
why
be
does everyone
careful.
keep wondering why I buy multiples of things? So that when one fails, I got a backup.
no,
there
I-
are ways around it to make it work, but
Yeah. But another thing is I can't have that downloadable content on both
no, you can't.
because it's attached to one account.
Well, with Nintendo, you never have been because Nintendo is very big about anti-piracy.
yes.
And this is one of those things that I argue with people. I don't think you should have to have something on 5 different systems. Is it convenient? Oh yes, I love it. Like the fact that I can put 2 games on my Xboxes and play them to each other, that's awesome for only paying for 1 game.
Yeah.
But if a publisher and a game developer and a system manufacturer aren't going to give me that option, that's not going to stop me from playing on that system.
Mm-hmm.
And if I really want to, I'll buy 2 copies. I did it with Titan Quest.
You've done it with several games.
Hey, you shut up.
I'm just speaking the truth. I'm just driving your point home. I don't know why you get mad.
Yeah. while dragging me through the mud.
I mean, I'm just agreeing with you. That's all. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
sure. What she's remarking on is I bought too many copies of Kingdom Hearts just to get downloadable
Not even
Keyblades.
just Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, there she goes, throwing me into the mud again.
I'm just saying it how it is. Why are you getting defensive? How many Minecrafts
Let's
do
not
you
talk
have?
about that on stream.
Let's see.
Oh, to be fair, I actually bought these all over time. They've not been bought all at once. But I have one for every system it currently exists on except for the Xbox One.
You better jump on it. On it.
I would have, but they took away the $4.99 upgrade.
$4.99.
Well, I had it on PlayStation 3, and
What's
if
that
you had it
from?
on PlayStation...
$3.99.
$3.99.
God damn it.
But I had it on PlayStation 3 because I was playing with a friend, and then PlayStation 4 version came out, and it was $4.99 to upgrade to the PlayStation 4. I was like, okay. And then the Xbox had the same thing. I was gonna, but, well, they canceled it. But now that Better Together is out, I don't have to
I like
own
it.
it. What are you lolling and truing?
Oh, I got my supervisor to subscribe to PewDiePie, and I was like,
Doing your part.
I was like, you don't have to acknowledge it. I turned off the notifications. Just subscribe to him. He's like, why? Why? I'm like, just
do it.
Yeah, do me a favor.
Just do me the
Do me a
solid.
Did you see that Mr. Beast was at the Super Bowl?
Oh, with the shirts, or
Yeah, you see, he was sitting behind one of the goalposts
yeah,
so that he was in every goalpost shot.
yeah. I saw the picture.
So, whenever you get a sample of that photo, you should take a screenshot and airdrop it to my computer. You can show it off.
For what?
What you're working on.
Oh,
You can airdrop it to my computer. I'll accept it, and we can show it off.
okay.
Show off some of Laura's artwork.
I am not totally done.
Where
with
can they
it.
find you on Tumblr?
Rory.tumblr.com.
Oh, I figured you'd want to do your other one too.
No, that one's okay. That one's been dead for a while. I'm trying to update my actual art one.
Yeah, we should work on the other one too.
N-
It's such a
no,
big
'cause I don't-
subscriber base.
I
thing.
don't want to.
Okay, fine.
Kind of done with it. I kind of just, it's dead.
And you
Fair
can
enough.
you can find me at Morts_.
Nobody
Mickey
asked about you.
Fuck you. Excuse me,
Now, what's that? Morts_ what?
Nick Yort on Instagram. Fuck you.
Instagram. No Instagram.
That's
Instagram is the devil.
the
Bobby
Yeah.
Boucher.
That's the
Yeah,
only-
rory.tumblr.com.
Oh,
ROUR.
Fine, I'll figure out what my Tumblr is and I'll
REY.
bring it.
That's
next
right, Bobby Boucher.
Whatever.
Wait, hang on. Uh-oh.
You just bite your thumb at me.
Share.
Yes. Sir.
That's a
Wait,
great
how do
movie.
I...
Both the original and the
Oh.
the
Airdrop.
Like the 90s version.
Oh,
who
wait.
did the one
I'm
with
sending it to your, do I need to send it to
Leonardo DiCaprio?
your, Hey,
The guy who.
Same guy.
do I need to send it to your MacBook?
Yeah,
Oh,
airdrop.
I dropped it to your phone.
The guy who played Clown in Spawn was the guy who played his rival, I
There you
believe.
go. There you-
Mercutio?
The guy, he was also
I
Luigi in
airdropped
the Super Mario movie.
I airdropped it.
I can't remember the actor's name, but he was definitely Luigi.
How do I go back? Oh, there we go. You get it? You get it? Oh, here's the. Did I start you this one?
What did we
Stop
just type out?
self-promoting, Laura.
I'm not. No,
What
I'm
did we just
showing
type
you.
out?
That one the other day.
I reluctantly like it.
What is Twitch
looks
automatically
good.
censoring? I'm lost on this conversation that's going on in the chat here.
Oh shit. What's happening?
Oh,
Did you?
Oh.
you get What's that?
Type it out.
Type what out?
Or
okay. It's
Where-
Danny's bad English. Newer on. I thought he was referring to something else because of the. Okay, his bad English, my inability to detect it, and it was just a car wreck. He's talking. I enjoyed that one with the John Leguizamo. That was hilarious. And I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm a fan of his movies. Catch Me If You Can's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Sorry.
What was The Wolf of Wall Street was pretty funny.
Yes.
So messed up, but it was really funny. Especially with those Quaaludes.
I can't remember.
Did you get it?
So bad.
I can't remember what he was saying.
I saw it go to your phone, but
All right, so here's a little image from Laura.
yeah. Sorry, guys. I got a new toy. It's hard to put it down.
Yeah, that's why she's not talking.
I am talking.
I really need
I've
to
been-
watch that later.
I've been talking. I don't know what you're talking
I don't
about.
know where it went. Send it to me again.
Oh, again.
Yeah. I mean, we can just not put it up. That's okay. Big killer deals. Love that. We'll fuck your wife. God.
Whoops. There you
So
go.
Bad.
The second time it's been airdropped to you.
Okay, now it's opening. Okay, so this is just a random doodle.
It's Link. Because everybody loves Link.
I like Link sausages.
Ew, you like Link sausage.
It's Link. I like
Whatever.
Lincoln Park.
Whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever floats your boat.
What else? What
There
else?
you go.
What else? What else?
There's some artwork for you guys.
Yay!
Take a look at her Tumblr. She puts up stuff like that.
I do. It's been a long time since I've updated, though.
Yeah, so it's like barren wasteland
has our-
right now. But
It
she's hopefully going to be updating.
Has
soon.
our broadcast ended?
No?
My phone says it is.
No? We're still going.
As far as I know, we've not been kicked
No,
off.
we're still going.
My arm hasn't raised yet. This lag time is either horrible or we lost.
Oh yeah, there's a fair amount of. It's like about 10, 15 seconds, I think.
My arm still hasn't gone.
I actually turned it off. So.
What is the deal?
There it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been some lagging in the video lately. I don't know what that's about. Like even on my end, there's been hanging. So.
This is
10 points if you can
not
tell me
figuring stuff out.
which link that
ASMR.
is.
That's Gryffindor.
You are correct. No, I'm joking. You know what link that is? Do you? Huh? He's got
Wait, hang on,
full
stop.
Hammer time.
hammer time.
Yeah, no, that's.
Do,
Is
do,
that a link
do,
between?
do.
That's a link between worlds or a link to the past because
Yeah.
he's got the brown sleeves. Because it's not the same link, is it?
What, a link to the link between
Yeah.
worlds and link to
Yeah.
past? No. Same timeline. Same
Yeah.
timeline. Not same link.
Same world.
The
too.
only so
No, I guess it would
a
be
link-
the same world over the same timeline.
a link
dumbass
a link
me.
to the past link has had we talked about this once, I think. It has 4 different games. A Link to the Past,
Oh.
a Link's no, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Ages, and a
And-
Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
That's all the same Link. He's been on
Season-
so many adventures.
Seasons and ages
Are the same
occur-
link. Right after the
No,
other.
those are
Yes.
played
Wait.
simultaneously.
No,
That's
they're
a
not.
microscope.
What
No,
about the
it's not.
Oracle of Cookies?
If you actually
from
look
the
into
Matrix?
it actually one happens after the
Ha, ha,
other.
ha, ha.
So the true ending just follows both, I guess.
Yeah, you have
In
to.
case anyone
that's
doesn't
why-
know, you have to have Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons to get the true ending. There's no other way.
Yes, that's the only way to get the true
I mean,
ending.
technically, you could use
I
somebody's code
forget
online. But
which one actually comes first. I think Oracle of Ages technically, canonically comes first.
Canonically.
Canonically.
Guess what region we're from? Canaan.
But I think Ages comes before Seasons. I think it goes A Link to the Past, Ages, Seasons, and then Awakening. That Link has been on so many adventures. It's ridiculous.
Huh.
He's the best.
Is he?
No,
Because he
as-
fell asleep and he got trapped in his
When
dreams.
does he
He
get to
didn't fall
Mars?
asleep, and he didn't get trapped in his dreams. He got trapped in the Windfish's dream. That was the whole point of that whole thing. Was he was helping wake up? Oh, the Windfish. That way, what?
So how did he get stuck in the Windfish dream then?
The Windfish like summoned him there
Why?
because he needed help. It was stuck in a nightmare. That's why whenever
How did it get stuck in a nightmare?
it just did.
Okay.
There's an evil thing. Evil things make evil things happen, and then it's been a while since I played. Shut your mouth.
I don't think it ever really tells you.
It's just like the nightmare. It just said that he was stuck in a nightmare. It never really explains what. It could have been
So how does he know he's stuck in a nightmare?
because it made up a whole world.
So he's a lucid dreamer?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I don't believe it.
Kind of. But he's stuck in a.
That means that entire game was just a lie.
It was.
The
I would
cake
love to
was
get
a lie.
I would love to get the soundtrack for that game.
The double is
We
a
could find
lie.
I really wish we could get some of these people we sent out requests to release us some music.
2222.
Yeah.
222.
Still not heard back from Brand News Manager.
I
I don't
imagine,
know that I will.
I imagine that might take a while.
Probably won't.
I just build a bot and send him an email every week. Hey man, we're still thinking about it.
We're still waiting to hear back. Whenever you get a chance. Appreciate you. But I don't think there's really much else to talk about.
No,
is
there's
there?
not terribly much else to talk
That
about.
was
at
we
this
pretty
point.
much hit all of our points that we wanted to.
And so I think we should watch that commercial once more.
Really.
I do.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to.
I need a good chuckle.
Yeah, we
You're-
gotta do that.
You're welcome.
Really not.
I
though.
manufactured it this
I
way.
like how it's called
Or
Boss
manicured
Fight.
it.
Manufactured it, huh?
Okay, so
It's
let's do this
interesting.
once more.
Interesting.
Get
Oh.
that loop going.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm trying to figure out why it's looping.
Loop loop
Oh, I know why it's looping.
loop.
I can't bring us up again.
I can hear myself in the background.
That's why it's looping. Now it won't loop.
I'm having errors on this app.
I was wondering what was happening there. Like, I heard it earlier. I guess it was just playing in the background.
Probably.
There we go. All right. Once again.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
If you're dumb enough to buy a new car this weekend,
You're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Car.
bad deal.
Cars that break down.
Please.
If you think you're gonna find a car at Big
Please.
Bill,
You can kiss my
My
ass.
it's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker.
You'll fall for this bullshit.
Guaranteed.
If you find a better deal,
Shove it up your ugly
you
ass.
heard us right.
Shove it up your ugly ass.
Bring your tray.
Bring your title.
Bring your wife.
We'll fuck her.
That's right, we'll fuck your wife.
Because it's Big Bill Hell.
You're fucked 6 ways from Sunday.
Take a hike.
to Big Bill Hell.
Home of challenge pissing.
That's right.
Challenge pissing.
How does it work?
If you can piss
It's
6
got
feet in the
that
air straight up
cadence
and
now.
not
So
get wet,
You get no down payment.
don't wait.
Don't delay.
Don't fuck with us or we'll rip your nuts off.
Only at Big Bill Hell.
The only dealer that tells you to fuck off.
Hurry up, asshole.
This event ends the minute after you write us a check.
Then it better not bounce or you're a dead motherfucker.
Go to hell.
Big Bill Hell's Cars.
Baltimore's filthiest.
And exclusive on one of the meanest sons of bitches in the state of Maryland.
Guaranteed.
Who made this? We need somebody to do an intro for us. I'd pay for it.
It's ridiculous.
Bring your wife. Well, fuck her.
It's terrible.
It's here for me.
Oh my gosh, you're crying.
That's great.
It's terrible.
We need to find whoever made that. We need an intro video.
That's all right. Okay.
Listen to our show. You won't like it. We don't care. That's great.
It's terrible.
But in a good way.
I wonder if that's like just stock footage or if he took that from like other commercials and stuff.
Oh, that'd be so hilarious.
Cars that break down.
It'd be awesome if that was an actual dealer and there's like a disgruntled employee who made it for
Yeah.
him. Like,
And that's the clip he sent out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Oh, it's been a lot of fun. I think we've run out of gas at this point. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed the conversation earlier, and we hope we didn't chase anybody away. Again, we're stuck on Tuesdays for the time being until I can get work shifted around. Anywhere between 8:30 and 9.
or 10. Yeah.
Try not to do that. No, we're
Well,
trying to aim.
there's sometimes
We're
people.
trying to keep it between 8:30 and 9 if we can.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys next week. We appreciate you for joining us. It's been fun. We appreciate the interactions. Hope you guys are all well. Hope you have a good week. Enjoy your weekend. You guys have anything to say? Add? Talk about?
Don't be
last
a dick.
minute. All right.
That's your wisdom of the week.
Thank you.
Don't be a dick. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Why?
We'll fucker.
That's right, we'll
Fuck you, Baltimore.
if you're dumb to buy a new car this weekend.
You're a big enough schmuck to come to Big Bill Hell's Cars.
Bad deal.
Cars that break down.
Thieves.
If you think you're gonna find a bargain at Big Bill,
You can kiss my ass.
it's our belief that you're such a stupid motherfucker.
You'll fall for this bullshit.
Guaranteed.
If